This series is about all the stuff we just can't live without, whether it's products for personal hygiene, home cleaning, or even DIY. It's about those bottles, cans, sprays, jars and tubes crammed into our cupboards, drawers, handbags, sheds and cars. I want to know what's in all this stuff. I'm Jane Moore, and I'm out to decode the magic hidden in my supermarket shopping list, to throw away the packaging and get to the brilliant Wonderstuff inside. My journey has seen me stumbling around in the dark. It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark down here. And facing my worst phobias. But ultimately rewarded with some genius in action. That is absolutely astonishing. After I've finished, I'm expecting to go down the supermarket aisle with a newfound confidence in what I'm looking for, having discovered what really does the job. My task is to hunt down the unexpected Wonderstuff in our lives, those genuinely clever substances lurking in the stuff that we use every day. And this time I'm out to find the hidden brilliance behind three of the things most of us slap on each morning: face cream, antiperspirant and sunscreen. I have to say I've got a bit of a personal motive on this new leg of my quest. At my age, I need all the moisturising I can get. Not only do I get to test some, but also I've been promised we'll be learning the identity of its magic bullet. Later, my materials maestro, Mark Miodovnik, does a demo which really is the pits. I would like to meet a man who sweated quite that much. But first on my shopping list is a little bottle that we Brits secretly hope we're going to need lots of. Sunscreen. When I was growing up, suntan lotion seemed to be sold as glorified cooking oil, designed to roast you quickly to a nice leathery brown. But now that we know more about sun damage, we count on products that use science to guard us from overexposure. But how do we know whether the ingredients in these products are giving us the right protection? And if so, what's the Wonderstuff that's doing it? I'm heading to the HQ of one of the UK's biggest developers and sellers of sun protection products to find out. Blimey, it's like arriving at the Swiss frontier. Which way now? This place is absolutely huge. It's like a town in itself. This is where Boots develops its potions and puts them to the test on human guinea pigs. So I've come to the perfect place to shed some light on how sun creams work. Skin specialist Ian Marlowe has got the kit that can tell me whether I've been giving my skin the right sun protection. So when I read a bottle, I'm thinking of all the words I now see. I mean, SPF factor or SPF. I mean, the F is the factor, isn't it? It is. It's a sun protection factor, and that's been the standard claim on some products for many, many years. Now, sun protection factor is primarily measuring the ability of a product to protect against burning. We know that burning is caused mainly by UVB rays. We all know that we need some sunlight to get our dose of vitamin D, but too much ultraviolet light will harm us. Apparently, there are two different types of UV light: UVB, which burns the skin's surface, and the equally dangerous UVA. 95% of all UV light that hits our skin is actually UVA. UVA works much more indirectly by attacking molecules in the skin that we know can go on then and cause other damage to DNA, and also result in a breakdown of the collagen and the elastin in the skin that leads to that loss of firmness and more wrinkling in the skin. Unluckily for me, Ian has a machine that can actually measure the effects of this invisible UVA. Absolutely. In the interests of science, and because it's in my contract, I volunteer myself for a checkup. Oh, no. So you need to take your makeup off before we start. Now he tells me. Oh, blimey, it's like asking me to run naked round Trafalgar Square, taking my makeup off on national television. I hope you're happy, Mr. BBC Commissioner. I'm not taking my eye makeup off for anyone. Right, there we go. My face is scanned with ultraviolet light. I'm still alive. The images are processed to reveal exactly how much UVA damage I've subjected my skin to over the years. But I'm not worried. Surely my use of sun cream has done its job, right? Wrong.
What we can see here, all the dark spots on the image are actually areas where your skin has responded to ultraviolet light and has actually produced melanin. Particularly, we often find this when we look at the nose or the forehead. You can see there's a higher density of dark spots. That normally indicates that your nose and your forehead has had insufficient
God, I'm speechless
coverage
with horror
over the years. And we know that that correlates quite closely to lines and wrinkles in later years.
Oh, God, that's awful. Thanks, Ian. Do you have any good news for me today?
What this machine also allows us to do is to compare you to people of a similar age. And here we can see you're at the 33rd percentile, so it means you're within that middle range.
So what am I, below average?
So you're a little bit below average.
Does that mean I'm better off than them or worse?
Worse.
Oh, God. I'm never coming here again. Oh, I've had too many holidays. But what's puzzling me is that I've been so careful to use sun cream when I'm on those sunny holidays.
Yeah, but what this really emphasises now is that it's not just about protecting your skin from the sun when you go on holiday. It's about thinking about protecting your skin all year round.
But I mean, I shouldn't have to wear something sort of like during November, should I?
Actually, about a quarter of the amount of incident UVA hits your skin between the months of October and May.
Really? That's it, enough humiliation for one day. So, where's the Wonderstuff that's going to save my skin? These clever people combine a variety of different UV blocking or reflecting substances, each one doing a different job. I'm told that 3 of these cutting-edge ingredients do the job of stopping UVB burning our skin. But there's one more that's really crucial because it blocks out the ageing UVA. Like the sound of that.
And that magic ingredient is butyl methoxide dibenzoyl methane.
Oh, how easy is that to say? B-O-T... No, forgotten it already.
It still stays on our packs, but if you were picking up a pack in the US, it would be given a much snappier title of avobenzone.
Ah. That'll do for me. The green line shows just how significantly avobenzone blocks out those nasty, deep down and damaging UVA rays. All of that cleverness wrapped up in one cream. It's pretty impressive. Ian decides that to see just how effective a sun cream with avobenzone really can be, it's back to the ultraviolet face scanning thingy machine. But this time it's only good news. Done? With half my face creamed up and half just bare skin, the difference is striking. The dark half, with avobenzone covering me up, is absorbing almost all the UV light before it gets to my skin. God, it's clever stuff, isn't it? Ziggy Stardust, there I am. Medical advice varies on whether we should be slapping on sunscreen all year round. But if avobenzone helps to reduce wrinkles, then it makes it onto my Wonderstuff list. While other parts of sun cream take care of the burning, this invaluable little chemical can protect us from premature aging. It turns up in lipsticks, foundations and skin creams. I'm suddenly feeling less guilty about all my cosmetic clutter. So after that wake-up call, I'm anxious to find out more about my skin, and if there's anything else I should be rubbing in to help look after it. Mark Miodovnik, my friendly materials expert, is on hand to help, and his first gift for me is a surprising close-up view of my skin. Not sure I'm keen on this. OK, so I know this is a laptop, but what's with the travel hairdryer?
A mini hairdryer. And actually, it looks like one, doesn't it? But it's a microscope. You can zoom into anything, so I can actually have a look at your skin here. Don't panic. Look, there we go.
Oh,
that's what you look like under the microscope. In fact, you look amazing.
Well, that looks like a dry riverbed.
No, I can tell you, I've looked at lots of people's skin, and it's very, very good.
Is it?
The structure isn't kind of all disturbed. It's got a very good colour. Oh, yes.
Thank you. Mark tells me that the thickness of our skin varies from around 4 millimetres on our palms to 0.5 millimetre on our eyelids.
We can look on your face if you like, and this is going to be a completely different thing. Now, can you see down as well? Now look at that, isn't that wonderful? You can actually see your makeup.
Glittery.
Yes, you've got very nice glittery makeup. It's your best asset, your skin. It's 16% of your body weight.
It's the biggest organ, isn't it, in the body?
Yes, it's the biggest organ in the body. And it allows you to cool, but it also allows you to protect you from losing too much water. I mean, your skin is your most precious asset. I mean, it protects you from bacteria, viruses, everything. I mean, this is the first barrier against the world, and so keeping this in good nick is really the thing to do.
Phew, I didn't come off that too badly. Or maybe Mark's just being nice. But is there a Wonderstuff that can keep my skin barrier in peak condition? As a nation, we slap on £3 billion worth a year of something that we think will do the trick. Moisturiser. So what's in it then? And does it work? To find out if there is something in moisturisers that makes them worth it, I'm going to meet Dr. Mike Bell, who's something of an expert on the subject.
So tell me, what is dry skin, really? What's happening?
Well, I think of skin as a bit like play putty. And when water's within play putty, it actually looks very much like this. And everybody's familiar with that, with their children playing with it. You can mould it, it's flexible. And that's all because of the water in it. But as soon as it dries out and the children leave the tops off...
The next day in my house.
It becomes a bit like this. And it can be torn apart, it can be cracked, and actually is just fit for the bin. And that's exactly what happens with dry skin. That's all because of the water content in this outer layer of the skin called the stratum corneum. And it's about as thick as a piece of paper. Literally, it's no thicker than that. And the water content in this determines how dry or not dry the skin is.
This paper-thin protective outer layer is apparently the main barrier to help stop my skin drying out. And of course there's a test to show me exactly how important it is to keep this layer of skin healthy. First, Mike's assistant Cara measures the rate that my skin is currently losing water.
Your skin in its resting condition probably loses about 100 to 150 millilitres of water each day, because outside it's much drier than inside the skin.
This graph is showing the catchily named transepidermal water loss.
So what we're looking for is when it actually plateaus, and that's the resting level of water leaving your skin.
That done, it's time to see how much water I lose when my skin barrier is damaged. Uh-oh.
So what we're doing here is actually stripping off 10 layers of your skin.
10 layers?
10 layers of your skin.
Ow! It's painless, really. What's coming off? Like dead cells?
Dead skin cells, but basically you're taking off the stratum corneum. So some of the layers of this stratum corneum that's so important for the barrier function of your skin.
Will I get it back?
You will get it back. It'll take a few days for that little bit to repair itself completely, but you can get it back quite quickly.
Do you get pleasure out of this, Cara?
I try not to.
I worry about people like you. Then the probe is applied again, and the results are in.
And now your reading is at about 11.3. Previously, it was at about 8.9. So the water loss has been increased from your skin.
Damaging our precious outer barrier means the skin below will dry out and fall apart quicker. Not what we want. So now I know how precious my stratum corneum skin barrier is, how best to keep it strong and healthy.
And lots of, supermodels in particular swear by drinking 2 litres of water a day, saying it makes their skin look better. Is that true?
Well, absolutely, because the water comes from your blood vessels. So if you're dehydrated, you're going to have less water coming from those blood vessels that then percolates through the skin. So yes, it's true, you need to be hydrated yourself.
But as well as hydrating your skin from the inside, I'm told there's a quicker way to hold on to that water. Enter moisturiser.
What a moisturiser can do, by putting back in that moisture into the top layers of the skin and actually cementing it better, it means that the skin can maintain a better barrier.
I know Mike's bound to extol the virtues of something he's dedicated to developing here at Boots, but he promises that once I've seen some moisturiser made from scratch, I'll understand what all the fuss is about. First to go into the mix are oily emollients like this soft paraffin wax.
The wax is very important to giving the skin feel a richness to it, and it conditions and softens the skin. And a lot of the aim of these emollients is to actually try and hide some of the stickiness or greasiness.
Then there's an emulsifier.
It allows this emulsion, as we call it, to form of oil droplets dispersed in a water phase.
But here comes the truly magic ingredient, a colourless, odourless, viscous and devilishly clever liquid added to the water, glycerin.
As in glycerin that I make icing with.
Absolutely. You know, and it has similar properties used in cosmetics, used in cooking. It's a fantastic water binder.
Mix all the ingredients together and you've got a basic but highly effective moisturiser. But it's the glycerin that's grabbed my attention.
The glycerin in the moisturiser is what would form that sort of barrier to stop the water releasing as quickly.
Absolutely. So it's probably the most important ingredient for a moisturiser because it will bind water at the surface of the skin.
OK, this I have to see.
So what we have here is a weighing balance, and we've got some glycerin here, and I'm going to pour this glycerin, a certain amount, into the balance. And as you can see, it's actually increasing in mass, and the only way it can do that is by grabbing water molecules as they pass over the surface of the glycerin, just showing how fantastic a humectant it is.
So humectant means as in grabbing humidity, is that what it comes
Grabbing water, yes, and holding onto it, which is what glycerin will do. And it's important that when the conditions get drier and the humidity gets lower, it's still able to hold onto that moisture.
How is it, I can't quite get my head around, how is it actually doing that though?
Well, glycerin has a quite simple structure, which enables it to form bonds, links with water. So that's all it does. It forms these bonds with water to grab it to its structure.
A bit like a spider in a web.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a good analogy.
And this amazing chemical sponge is also highly abundant.
But where does it actually come from originally?
Well, this is vegetable-derived glycerin. So it comes from fatty acids and lipids in plants. It's a byproduct of the soap industry as well, and the manufacture of soap and candles as well. So a little bit by chance, they discovered that that was an end product and has many, many applications, thankfully for us.
So glycerin really is the key ingredient for anyone making a moisturiser?
It is, and in fact, it's the gold standard humectant in the cosmetic industry.
I had absolutely no idea about this at all. I'm absolutely amazed by it, I have to say, that just a clear liquid can do this amazing thing. And I'm going to go and bathe in a whole bath of glycerin now. I'm going to look like the incredible, shiny woman.
Glycerin, also called glycerol, is derived from fat. Any kind of fat will do. And was discovered by accident by the German-Swedish chemist Schiller in 1779. Its sweet taste and low toxicity make it ideal for use in the food industry, where it also goes by the name E422. Glycerin is incredibly useful and has virtually no side effects, unless it's combined with acid to form the explosive nitroglycerine.
When it comes to keeping up appearances, then moisture can also be a problem if you have too much of it. Yes, I'm talking about the potentially embarrassing matter of sweat. I want to know, why is it that we do sweat? And also, what's the magic ingredient in antiperspirant that helps us to keep it under control?
Never let 'em see you sweat.
I've come to Leeds University to sniff out Dr. Mark Hetherington, a physiologist with his own special climate chamber. Here, he runs tests in controlled temperature and humidity to understand the ways in which people sweat and to give clues as to what we can do about it.
Well, there are lots of differences between the ways that individuals sweat. People who are fit sweat more than people who are unfit, and people who are acclimatised or adapt to the heat sweat more than people who aren't. But the average person has got probably 3 million sweat glands, and each of them produces a solution which it takes from the body's fluids and then secretes it onto the skin from where it can evaporate. And it's the actual evaporation of the sweat from the skin that cools you.
So we need all those sweat glands to keep us cool. But why do some parts of our bodies become more of an embarrassment than others?
And where do we sweat the most? Because, I mean, I would think it would be sort of under the armpit here.
Well, interestingly, there are more sweat glands per square centimetre of skin on the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. But probably when you're hot and sweating to cool yourself, the majority of sweat will be produced in the chest and the back and on the forehead and face.
Hang on, if I pump out more sweat from my face, why do I associate the iffy smell with armpits?
Well, I guess that's because the sweat gets trapped in the armpit and can't evaporate, so it accumulates there, which is why you get wet armpits. It's also partly because we have a different type of sweat gland in the armpit to over the skin on most of the rest of the body. It's called an apocrine sweat gland, and that tends to be activated more by emotion and fear. So, for example, if you've got a job interview and you get sweaty armpits, it's those sweat glands that are active. And it's thought that what happens is that that type of sweat contains more protein from the body. So it's not really the sweat itself that smells, it's the product of a bacterial breakdown. And it's that bacterial breakdown that causes the odours we associate with smelly armpits.
So it's healthy to allow the sweat from most parts of our body to evaporate into the air to cool us, and a squirt of deodorant, which is basically just perfume, won't interfere with that. But when it comes to our armpits and their potentially embarrassing smell, we need something much cleverer to stop us sweating altogether, and that's antiperspirant. So how does it do that? Well, as ever, I'm turning to trusty old Mark, who, aside from all his other skills, reckons he can build a makeshift model of a giant armpit in action.
Yeah.
This I have to see.
So here we have a piece of your skin, perhaps under your arm.
You heard about my skin.
No, come on, it's very, very soft and smooth and clean, and here's the gland maybe. So this has got some water in it. Let's put that there. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so then it gets hot. You're in the sauna maybe, or in a tropical island, that's preferably. And out you sort of sweat. Oh yeah, how do I do that? Oh yeah, there we go.
Okay.
There's a bit of sweating.
Yes.
And then the idea is that it evaporates and you get cool. But what if too much comes out and you're...
And you get wet.
No, but
yes.
then you feel uncomfortable.
I would like to meet a man who sweated quite that much.
This is obviously the problem. So from a simple-minded point of view, if you were to put something on this surface here that could mop up this sweat and just basically attract it into a kind of... so it was less wet and became solid, then that would perhaps be the solution. So if you take an antiperspirant, some of the active ingredients do actively do that. So we're going to put some of this on here. So this is a gelling agent. It's not what's actually in antiperspirant, but it works in exactly the same way, sort of scavenging water and kind of almost making it into a solid. It's kind of this gel.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's like a little sort of sugar sweetie.
Yeah. But of course, there's still more water to come out, right? So you've got to, that's not going to solve our problem. We have to keep putting more and more on. So we want actually, in a way, to stop this gland from being so productive. What if we can get...
According to Mark, the really clever trick antiperspirants pull is by working their way inside our pores.
All that sweat is becoming into a, not so liquid anymore. In fact, it looks like a gel, which is sort of semi-solid. And then if I do that, it's not going anywhere.
So that's what happens inside the sweat gland when we put antiperspirant on?
Well, again, it's not quite clear whether it's actually happening inside the gland or whether it's just a plug. Yeah. But
it works.
It works.
OK, Mark, I think I've got the point that there's something in antiperspirants that plugs up the glands in our armpits and stops them from producing more sweat. So, what sort of Wonderstuff is performing this magic trick? And where does it come from? Well, it seems that the answer lies in a rather unusual place. So, on the trail of the active ingredient in antiperspirant, I've come to meet a man in the know at a quarry in deepest Yorkshire. Jack Walkie is a chemist whose job it is to formulate ingredients for popular toiletries.
Well, Jack, you really know how to treat a girl. What am I doing in a quarry?
Well, we're here to talk about a material that's the most abundant metal on the surface of the planet and an extremely useful material, and that's aluminium.
Ah!
Jack tells me that aluminium, which is present in the rocks and soil all around us, has also been one of the key ingredients in antiperspirants for over 100 years.
in the sort of late 1800s, particularly under the hot lights from the stage and these sort of things. Actors and actresses were using different products to reduce perspiration. One of the ones that they came up with was aluminium chloride, which was a great antiperspirant, but quite irritant and quite damaging to clothing.
It wasn't until the 1940s that less acidic versions based on aluminium chloride were produced, such as the very popular Stoppette.
Then developments moved along and we ended up with aluminium chlorohydrate that we know today. And aluminium chlorohydrate is the basis of most antiperspirants in the Western world.
It's amazing to think that metal dug up from the ground can be mixed with hydrochloric acid to give us aluminium chlorohydrate, a substance we all rely on to keep BO at bay. It's the Wonderstuff that manages the balancing act of being a sweat stopper that's still gentle on the skin. Aluminium chlorohydrate and its close cousins have been gracing our armpits for decades and are still the only substances that do the job effectively. And contrary to a widely held belief, there's no scientific evidence that these compounds are linked to breast cancer. My investigation into the stuff we slather on in the name of beauty has exposed some surprising truths. Not least how I've failed to protect my skin from ultraviolet rays over the years. But also that something as simple and old-fashioned as the glycerin my granny used for baking is still the #1 substance for moisturising my skin.
But for me, the biggest revelation is that despite the dizzying array of deodorants and antiperspirants on sale, there's really only one substance we can rely on to combat sweat, and that's aluminium chlorohydrate. Think what you like about putting chemicals under your arm, but it really does work. And in my book, that earns it a place in our Wonderstuff Hall of Fame.
When I started this journey into the world of Wonderstuffs months ago, I had little idea what I was going to be in for. But it's one that's taken me all around the UK to meet some of our country's brightest brains, who've turned up some genuine surprises.
Wow! Science is really exciting! It's a good job I've got a strong heart. Wow! I'm never going to look at it in the same way again. One thing I love about having gone to the source to find substances that we just can't live without is how it suddenly opened up this whole world of chemistry connections that surrounds us.
Like the fact that there's the same active ingredient in moisturiser and explosives.
Well, I'm absolutely amazed by it.
Or that the silica in toothpaste that makes it an effective stain remover also gives us hair dye and beer.
It's actually made from the sand we're standing on.
Really?
Or that the chemical limonene extracted from the peel of citrus fruits is nature's powerful gift to us when it comes to shifting grease. But it might one day turn up in anti-cancer medicine.
God, that is really impressive. We can all be enticed by a clever marketing slogan or some eye-catching packaging, but sometimes the real genius lies inside.